The silent shift that changes everything. Most people don't realize this, but when you walk away, something inside her begins to shift. It's not instant. It's slow, subtle, but incredibly powerful. At first, she might feel nothing. In fact, she may even feel relief. Finally, she has space. She might think, I knew he wouldn't actually leave. He'll text again soon. That's what she tells herself, because in her mind, she still has control. She's used to the cycle where she pulls away and you chase. She's used to being in a position where she knows that no matter what happens, you'll still be there. But then, time passes. A few days, maybe a week. She checks her phone. Nothing. She expects you to reach out, but there's silence. This is when something new happens. Uncertainty begins to creep in. For the first time, she's not sure anymore. She starts to wonder if she miscalculated. At first, she tells herself you're just being stubborn. She assumes you're playing a little game and will eventually give in. But then another day passes, and another. She scrolls through her messages, hoping to see your name pop up. She notices you haven't watched her story. You haven't liked her posts. That's when a new thought starts forming in her mind. What if he actually moved on? And that uncertainty, that's where her emotions begin to change. The psychological trigger that pulls her back. The reason walking away is so powerful is because it triggers a deep psychological shift. Most women don't even realize it's happening. Women crave certainty. They need to know where they stand with someone. Before, she knew exactly where you stood. You were always available. You always responded. You made sure she felt important. But now everything is different. And when a woman loses certainty, she starts to question everything. Wait, why hasn't he texted? What if I actually lost him? Did I push him too far? It starts off as just curiosity. She doesn't feel the loss yet, just a strange sense of wondering. But that wondering turns into a need for answers. She might start checking your social media more closely. She might check your status just to see if you've been active. But the more she sees that you haven't reached out, the more she starts spiraling. And once she begins questioning whether she still has you, that's when she starts chasing. She may not even realize she's doing it. Maybe she mentions you in passing to a friend, or she scrolls through old photos, reminiscing about the past. But deep inside, she's beginning to feel a shift. The man she once had certainty about is now a mystery. And that is what makes her start to value you differently. The emotional regret phase. At first, she'll pretend she doesn't care. She might act like she's fine, maybe post something on social media to show she's living her best life. But inside, she's feeling the loss. Here's what most men don't realize. Women don't feel regret instantly. It happens in stages. First, she feels indifferent. She assumes you'll come back. Then she feels uncertainty and starts checking her phone more, waiting for your name to appear. Eventually, regret begins to creep in. She starts replaying past conversations, wondering if she made the wrong decision. Finally, she starts longing for what she lost. She realizes she misses the way you made her feel. This is when everything shifts, because now she's not just thinking about you, she's feeling your absence. And it's those feelings that make her take action. She starts remembering the small things, the way you made her laugh, the way you were always there when she needed someone. And suddenly, she feels the weight of your absence. She might try to tell herself it's just a phase. She might distract herself with other people, activities, or even dating apps. But nothing feels the same. And that's when it hits her. She took you for granted. How ignoring her increases your value. Here's where many men go wrong. They notice that she's missing them, and they rush back in. Big mistake. The moment she senses that you're waiting for her to miss you, she loses interest again. Why? Because the mystery is gone. When you ignore a woman, you create space for desire to grow. She starts remembering the good times. She starts wondering if she made a mistake. She begins to feel your absence instead of just knowing you're always there, and the longer you stay silent, the more powerful this effect becomes. But the second you break that silence before she fully feels the loss, the power shifts back to her. This is why men who stay disciplined, patient, and in control of their emotions have the greatest impact. Silent always has the upper hand. The longer you stay silent, the more valuable you become in her mind. She begins to realize that you weren't just an option, you were a man who knew his worth, and a man who knows his worth is a man she can't replace. The unexpected moment. She comes back. This is the part that no one talks about, the moment she finally reaches out. At first, it'll be subtle, maybe a random message or a simple hey out of nowhere. Maybe she accidentally likes one of your posts, but don't be fooled. This is not just a coincidence. She's testing the waters. She wants to see if you'll react. She wants to know if she still has power over you. She wants to feel in control again. If you respond too quickly, she wins. But if you stay calm and collected and let her put in the effort, that's when she truly starts chasing you. Because now, she's the one trying to earn your attention. And that's when you know you've truly shifted the dynamic. The fear of replacement kicks in. There's something undeniably powerful about the fear of being replaced. It's one of the most triggering emotions a woman can experience, and it doesn't hit immediately. It builds up over time. At first, when you walk away, she assumes you're just playing a game, a temporary reaction, a move to get her attention. She convinces herself, he'll come back when he gets bored. He's just testing me. He still wants me. I still have control over the situation. But then days turn into weeks, and reality starts to sink in. She realizes you haven't reached out. She notices you're not watching her stories, not liking her posts, not reacting to anything she does. And then the fear starts creeping in. The fear that another woman is stepping into her place. Her mind starts playing out worst-case scenarios. What if he's talking to someone else? What if he's already moved on? What if I was just another option to him? And this is where her ego takes a hit. She always assumed she had time. She believed you'd always be there, waiting, orbiting, available at any moment. But now, that certainty is gone. For the first time, she starts experiencing the same uncertainty, anxiety, and overthinking that you once felt when she was pulling away. This is the moment she realizes she doesn't just miss you, she's afraid of losing you for good. How absence triggers. Her emotional bonding. Men often think women bond through time spent together, shared experiences, and deep conversations. While those things do play a role, here's what most men never understand. A woman bonds through absence more than she does through presence. When you're always there, always available, always chasing, she doesn't have to wonder about you. She doesn't have to question how you feel. She doesn't have to put in effort because you're doing all the work for her. But the moment you disappear, the moment she stops hearing from you, that's when the emotional connection starts to form on a deeper level, because now she's no longer being fed validation. Now she has to search for it. Her brain begins associating you with uncertainty, mystery, and desire. She starts playing back memories in her head, the way you looked at her, the way you made her laugh, the way you made her feel safe. And instead of those moments feeling ordinary, they now feel special, because now they're gone. That's the key most men never understand. It's not about what you do when you're there, it's about what she feels when you're not. The difference between missing you and wanting you back. Most men get this part completely wrong. They assume that if a woman misses them, it automatically means she wants them back. But that's not how it works. A woman can miss your attention but not respect you. She can miss how you made her feel, but not actually want a relationship. Here's the real danger. If you come back too soon, you erase all the progress. Missing you isn't enough. She has to feel the full consequence of losing you. If she misses you, and you instantly respond, she knows she still has power over you. If she throws out a small bait and you chase, she realizes she never truly lost you, and the moment she realizes you're still an option, the chase is over. That's why high-value men don't just make a woman miss them, they make her work for them again. And if she starts chasing, that's when you know you've won. Because now, she's not just feeling loss, she's feeling regret. And that's when her desire shifts from missing your attention to actually wanting you back. Why time works in your favor. This is where most men mess up. They assume that if she hasn't reached out, she doesn't care, and that's why they panic. That's why they break no contact too soon. That's why they ruin everything by acting too fast. But high-value men understand something powerful. Time is your greatest weapon. The longer you stay away, the stronger your position becomes. The longer she goes without hearing from you, the more she starts craving it. The longer she wonders why you're not chasing, the more mystery builds. The longer she feels uncertainty, the more she questions her own choices. And that questioning, that's what creates obsession. Most men are too easy to figure out. They make their feelings obvious, they react emotionally, and they break silence too soon. But when you walk away and stay gone, she starts to wonder, did I ever really have him in the first place? Did he ever really need me? What if I was just an option to him? That doubt, that's what keeps you on her mind. Not just for a day, not just for a week, but long enough for her to realize she lost something irreplaceable. The moment she realizes she lost you forever. This is the final stage, and it doesn't happen overnight. At first she feels nothing, then she notices the silence, then she starts questioning herself, then she starts missing you, and that's when regret kicks in. She realizes you're no longer waiting for her. She understands you've moved on. She sees that you're thriving without her, and suddenly she doesn't feel empowered. She feels powerless. She thought you'd always be an option. She thought she could come back whenever she wanted, but now she's not so sure. And that's when she does something desperate. She might send a random "hey" text out of nowhere, trying to provoke a reaction just to get your attention. She might suddenly act like she cares when she was cold before. But here's the thing, you're no longer available. For the first time, she has to face the real consequences of her actions. And you've already moved forward. Why walking away creates a shift in power. In relationships isn't about who cares less. It's about who has control over their emotions. Most men give away their power without realizing it. They overthink every little detail. They analyze every text, every delay, every response. They react to a woman's indifference with desperation instead of confidence. But when you walk away, something unexpected happens. The power shifts. Suddenly, you're the one she can't figure out. Instead of you analyzing her behavior, she starts analyzing yours. Why hasn't he reached out? Does he not care anymore? Did I overestimate my importance to him? And the most powerful moment? When she realizes you're not chasing, waiting, or reacting. Now she's the one feeling uncertain. And that uncertainty triggers something deeply psychological. The fear of being replaced. Once she starts feeling like she's losing her grip on you, her emotional walls begin to crack. Just like that, the dynamic flips. Now, she's the one who feels like she has to prove her worth to you. How distance makes you more attractive. Here's what most men never realize. A woman's desire isn't triggered by presence, it's triggered by absence. Men think that being around all the time, constantly available, always checking in, makes a woman feel secure. But in reality, It kills attraction. When a woman knows she has you whenever she wants, there's no mystery, no curiosity, no longing. But when you pull away, when she doesn't know what you're thinking, where you are, or what you're doing, her mind starts filling in the blanks. And in that moment, you become more valuable in her eyes. Now you're not just a man she's used to, you're a challenge again. And women love challenges. They're wired to desire what feels just out of reach. When you give her space to wonder, to question, to miss you, that's when attraction builds. The psychological effect of being hard to get. Most men have been conditioned to believe a lie, that women like men who are always kind, available, and emotionally open. But the truth is, women value what they have to work for. That's why they chase after men who don't make it easy. It's not because they enjoy being ignored, it's because they respect men who have self-discipline. When you walk away and don't come running back, you're showing her something powerful, that you're not desperate for her validation, that you have options, and that you have self-respect. You're not a man who gives away his time and attention freely, and when a woman sees that, it forces her to reevaluate your worth. Because now, you're not just a guy she used to talk to, you're a rare man, one who doesn't fall into the typical traps of emotional neediness. And that's when she starts craving your attention again. Why women fear losing a man who walks away. Here's what separates high-value men from everyone else. They understand that a woman's biggest fear isn't rejection. It's losing a man who is truly valuable. When you walk away, it's not just about making her miss you. It's about making her realize that you were always the prize. Women aren't afraid of men leaving. They're afraid of men leaving and never coming back. That's when regret kicks in. I should have treated him better. I thought he'd always be there. What if I never find someone like him again? And once that thought enters her mind, she starts viewing you differently, not as the man she once dismissed, but as the one she never should have let go of. The ultimate power move, moving on without her. Here's the final, most important truth. The strongest move you can make isn't making her miss you. It's moving on without needing her to come back. Because if you need her reaction to feel validated, you're still giving her power. But when you truly move on, when you start living your life, improving yourself and thriving without her, that's when she feels the full weight of her mistake. Because now you're not reacting, you're not looking back, you're not stuck in the past. That's what separates high-value men from the rest. They don't wait for a woman to realize their worth. They already know it. And when a woman sees a man who knows his own value, that's when she realizes she lost something she can't replace. Conclusion. Before you go, if this message resonated with you, there's another video on the screen that you don't want to miss. It dives even deeper into the psychology behind attraction and why women respond the way they do. Click it now, and I'll see you there.